Greetings everyone! This is a quick promo before the video begins. If you're new to the channel and you didn't know it yet, I am actually an author in addition to being a YouTuber, and I have 2 books that you can get on Amazon. Operation Red Dragon: The Daikaiju Wars Part 1 and The Occult Mafia. The first is sort of a bizarre, absurdist kaiju anime mashup, and the other is a horror noir story with a hint of a western thrown in there. They're both set in the same universe, and at this point have received mostly positive reviews, so you might want to check them out. I've provided Amazon links for both of them down in the description. They're both available in either paperback or Amazon Kindle, and Operation Red Dragon is also available in audiobook form. So if either of these strike your fancy and you want to support a struggling artist, feel free to go down and check out either one or both of them. Alright, the shameless self-promotion is out of the way, we can get on with the video. Thank you all for your support.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Omni viewer, and it seems that Godzilla vs. Kong news is so slow we actually have to go to news about other franchises in order to get any information about it. Case in point, a tiny hint of GVK news was made available thanks to a Forbes interview with Tom Holkenborg, or as you may better know him, Junkie XL. Earlier this year, Mr. Holkenborg was announced as the composer for Godzilla vs. Kong, and I personally didn't find anything wrong with it. I wasn't really super excited, but I wasn't balking at it either. But I do know that his particular brand of music can be an acquired taste, because unlike your John Williamses and your Danny Elfmans, he doesn't really have the classical kind of musical sound. He does a lot more electronica than symphonic. Not that he completely shies away from symphonic, of course, but he's in a very different genre than what we're generally used to with movie soundtracks. Well, if you have any concerns about him, this might assuage them. The article itself is actually about Zack Snyder's Justice League. You know, the movie people insisted didn't exist that's premiering on HBO Max next year. I gotta say, I am looking forward to that. Even as someone who was okay with the theatrical cut of Justice League, it's become more and more apparent these days that we were lied to about the circumstances that led to Zack Snyder being replaced with Joss Whedon, and that we were potentially robbed of something really spectacular. Possibly, I don't know, we'll see when the movie actually comes out. But anyway, since Junkie XL is doing the score for Justice League, he was interviewed by Forbes. And he managed to turn the interview briefly in the direction of Godzilla vs. Kong. I'll provide a link to the article itself so you can read it, but I'll be quoting it here all the same. Here's what he had to say, quote, "A perfect example is the Godzilla vs. Kong movie that is coming out next year," he enthused. "I'm such a Godzilla freak. I have all the Japanese versions of the movies. At a certain point, just for bleeps and giggles," they censored it, not me, "I wrote something for Godzilla. About 2 years ago, I met the director because he showed interest in me as a composer. I asked him, 'Do you know I'm the biggest Godzilla fan on the planet and years ago I wrote some stuff?' He was like, 'You're kidding me.' So we started communicating, I tweaked what I did, played it for him, and he was totally in love." As if that weren't enough, the article actually ends with him circling back to Godzilla vs. Kong with this interesting bit of trivia. Quote, "On Godzilla vs. Kong, I said, I think we need the biggest bass drum on the planet for this score. I know the guy who can build it. What do you think?' They just said, 'Let's do it.' So I said I want a bass drum that is at least 8 feet in diameter," he laughed. "So the guy called me back and he asked, 'Is it okay if it's only 6? I said, 'Could we do 8? Why can't we do 10? The answer was, 'Well, there's simply no cow alive that has a skin big enough to cover for a 10-foot bass drum.' So we had to scale it down to 8. It was worth the money." So there's going to be some very heavy bass drums in the Godzilla vs. Kong score. I have a feeling the theaters are going to shake like you wouldn't believe. But moreover, it seems like Junkie XL might be a good choice for composer after all. Don't get me wrong, folks, I certainly love what we've gotten so far. The 2014 score by Alexander Desplat, Desposito. The 2014 score was great. Bear McCreary's score for King of the Monsters was phenomenal. Henry Jackman's score for Kong Skull Island was, Bear McCreary did a good job, did I mention that? But it seems like Junkie XL is really enthusiastic about this, and I'm looking forward to hearing what he comes up with. Will it actually be good? I don't know. Honestly, what I'm most curious to know is, will it be a completely original score, or will it incorporate some more older familiar themes? And will there be leitmotifs for the characters? Whatever the case winds up being, I can at least take some comfort in knowing that Tom Holkenborg actually wants to compose for a Godzilla movie, so he's not gonna phone it in. Whatever the case, he is gonna put some effort into this. But hey, what do I know, right? I'm just a MonsterVerse shill. Speaking of which, turns out there's actually a parody account somebody uploaded called MonsterVerse Shill that portrays me in snazzy and Joker makeup. And you know what? I'm interested to see what this channel does. I have very high standards when it comes to satire, so I'm expecting big things from this channel. But anyway, the main thing to take away from this article is that Junkie XL is a Godzilla fan and he wants to do this movie justice in a musical sense. Whether or not he will remains to be seen, but he's at least going to give it his best effort. Here's hoping it pays off. And that's all we have to say for now. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer signing off. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, then go down to the description to find links to follow us on DeviantArt, Patreon, and Twitter. While you're there, you'll also find the Amazon links for the original novels Operation Red Dragon, The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, and The Occult Mafia. 2 books I think you'll really enjoy. Thank you all, and we appreciate your support.